It's August 2019. The Summer X Games event is in full swing and the BMX Big Air contest is about to reach its climax. The rider prepares to drop in, hoping to claim a gold medal in this legendary contest. That rider was James Foster. The crowd watches on, eagerly awaiting the final run of the night. What they didn't know at the time is that this would be the final run of BMX Big Air that they would ever get to witness.
Williams has the lead with a 93.66. James Foster sends it. So far, so good into the quarter pipe. James. But that is a hard hit.
This would go on to be known as the worst BMX crash in X Games history. This is the story of James Foster. I hope you enjoy. Born in 1992 in Redlands, Southern California, James Foster had a solid foundation in BMX racing and motocross at the age of 10. As he got older, he would start building dirt jumps with his friends around town. The local riders at the time were all talented dirt jumpers, most being a lot older than James, and naturally he looked up to them as inspiration. And he would ride all of their jumps, proving his talent at a young age. He then made the switch over to freestyle BMX while attending high school, and his BMX dreams led him to move to Greenville, North Carolina. For several years, he would then ride with and learn from the likes of Dave Mirra and Ryan Nyquist. In 2007, Foster would enter his first contest at the AST Dew Tour in Baltimore and would earn himself a 7th place finish in the dirt event. For the next 6 years, he would go on to compete at many different contests around the USA, Canada and Germany, and would bag himself a gold medal for a first place finish at the BMX Masters in Cologne in 2011. 2 years later, in 2013, James would fulfill his childhood dream and finally make it to the X Games, and he would feature in the BMX Big Air event in Munich and would manage to finish in 8th place. The very next year he would return, this time in Austin, and finished 3rd, winning the bronze medal and fully cementing his place as a BMX Big Air star. Since 2006, BMX Big Air has been pushing the boundaries of what's possible, bringing the biggest names in BMX together for jaw-dropping contests in which huge air is a must, world's first tricks are the norm, and where legends are made. Starting from a 60-foot roll-in, BMX riders send their best tricks over the mega ramp's 50-foot gap before finishing their runs with massive airs on the 27-foot quarter pipe. Each rider gets 4 runs to post their highest score, competing against one another in an all-out battle to see who can land the craziest tricks. Or, another way to put it, to find out who has the biggest balls. But, of course, as many of you watching will already know, these big air contests come with extreme risks and serious consequences for the athletes competing. Things can go horribly wrong very quickly. Foster would continue to compete in the X Games Big Air events and would also travel the world with a nitro circus, riding their mega ramp and landing world-first tricks. Despite his success, Foster's approach to competition may seem a bit odd to most. He doesn't really practice, well, physically at least. James believes in the power of visualization and spends most of his practice time simply riding mellow and envisioning what he wants to do. And that brings us to the 2019 Summer X Games. Morgan Wade, Ryan Williams and James Foster are all battling it out to find out who will bring home the gold medal from Minneapolis. R. Willie is currently in first place with a score of 93.66 after landing a 720 front flip over the gap into a front flip flare on the quarter pipe. Foster needs something huge to knock Ryan off of the top spot. He visualizes his gold medal winning run, a backflip triple tail whip into a quadruple down whip. Unfortunately, things did not go to plan.
Williams has the lead with a 93.66. James Foster sends it. So far, so good into the quarter pipe. James. But that is a hard hit.
As can be seen from R. Willie's reaction, this was a truly horrific crash. He just watched one of his best friends almost meet his demise. James was then carted off a ramp on a stretcher as the crowd applauded, not because they enjoyed what they had just witnessed, but because they were just glad he survived. Looking back at the crash, we can try to analyse how it went so wrong. As he rolled up the quarter pipe, he was carrying more speed than he wanted. As his wheels hit the coping, he spun the bars and prepared to kick the frame around for the quadruple downwhip. But he quickly realised how far he was from the top of the ramp. He immediately let go of the bike and tried to situate his body for a good landing. He flails his legs as he falls 40 feet, almost to the flat bottom, just as Jake Brown did 12 years earlier. And just like Brown's crash, this was one of the heaviest impacts ever taken on the mega ramp.
But that is a hard hit.
A few weeks later, James posted this on his Instagram, showing an X-ray of his femur. The femur is the longest, heaviest and strongest bone in your body. It takes tremendous force to break it, and Foster's was completely destroyed. But fortunately, he also shared the news that he had just gone through an operation to fit a new custom titanium hip, which would allow him to ride again. The wonders of modern medicine and technology. So, as I mentioned earlier on the intro of this video, this was the very last year that the X Games Big Air contest took place. 2019 would be the final time we would get to witness BMXers and skaters alike giving it their all over the mega ramp and pushing the boundaries of what's humanly possible on a skateboard or a BMX. The X Games would attempt to replace this legendary event in 2022 and 2023 with a Megapark contest, but to the vast majority of fans, it just wasn't the same and failed to live up to expectations. The bar was set so high by the Big Air event that nothing else could ever really compare. It's understandable why they removed Big Air from the schedule. The safety of the athletes has to come first. Over the years, we've seen so many crazy slams and so many serious injuries. To be honest, it could have been cancelled way back in 2007 when a certain skateboarder took his infamous slam. I also made a video covering that crash and the story of Jake Brown. Link in the description down below. So that's it for this one. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Take care and have a great day.